Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz, freshly minted as the Democratic vice presidential candidate, has ignited a firestorm by questioning free speech in a 7-second viral video. That's all it takes when your speech assaults free speech. And after what the Harris-Biden regime has already done on that front, I think the American people are going to understand that the Democratic ticket wants to do to the country and our society what Joe Biden tried. We're going to talk about what Walz really meant by no guarantee of free speech. Let's get into it. Hey guys, before we start, hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. Please hit the like button because it really helps us. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos that come out every single day. Let's move on. So if you thought politicians couldn't get any more creative with their interpretations of the First Amendment, wait until you hear what Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz had to say. In a viral clip, he boldly declared there's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy. Now, what does that mean for our cherished free speech rights? Let's break it down. Picture this. A prominent politician going on record to say that misinformation and hate speech aren't protected under the First Amendment. Sounds straightforward, but is it? Walz's remarks have sparked outrage online, and many are questioning his constitutional literacy. Could this be a political strategy to silence dissenting voices? Because that's what the Democrats have been doing since 2020. The clip in question comes from a December interview on MSNBC, where Walz discussed the tactics used to influence recent elections. But it's not just about his words. It's about who gets to decide what counts as misinformation. It's the age-old debate, who watches the watchers? All right, guys, so here is the video in question. It's only about 7 or 8 seconds long, but I think it's about to ignite a revolution in this country over free speech. This man is a tyrant. Listen.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
First of all, numbnuts, we don't live in a democracy. Would somebody please tell the Democrats that? They keep saying our democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. In a democracy, the mob rule, the majority rule, would be able to say to the minority, hey, guess what, suckers? We're going to censor everything that you say that we don't like, and there's nothing you can do about it. Thankfully, we live in a constitutional republic where the minority is protected by a constitution, by standards of law. These guys like to say, oh, nobody's above the law. Well, you guys are above the law. He is above the law, according to himself. He thinks he's above the law because he gets to screw over your First Amendment free speech rights. The governor just committed disinformation because, yes, the First Amendment does cover disinformation, misinformation, and hate speech. Sorry, but free speech covers all speech, especially speech that you don't like. And don't give me that BS about you can't yell fire in a crowded theater, because you certainly can. What if there is a fire in a crowded theater? What are you supposed to yell? Shoehorn? How's that going to work? Kamala Harris went right along with the Biden administration's initiatives of the Disinformation Governance Board. Remember that? Where the federal government was going to censor any speech that they deemed as disinformation or misinformation, regardless of whether or not it was. Now, this is Orwellian at best. According to Walz, misinformation undermines democracy, and that's why we need to push back. But critics argue that his stance gives too much power to the government to determine what's true and what's false. It's a slippery slope, isn't it? If the First Amendment only protects true speech, who's the ultimate judge of truth? Them. That's what they believe. Them. It's supposed to protect all speech, but especially applies to speech that you can't stand. The problem with tyrants is that they don't like the arena of ideas because someone's going to win and someone is going to lose. They don't want to have to do the work in the arena in order to win. So they come up with ways to eliminate the competition. Censorship is one of the many ways that they do this. You see, the thing is, if you don't have an opposing view, then everything you say is true. And that's what they want. Walz referenced the prosecution of Douglas Mackey, a pro-Trump account operator, sentenced to 7 months in prison for allegedly spreading misinformation. Was this a necessary step to protect voters, or was it politically motivated and a violation of free speech? But what's more dangerous, guys, is that a judge actually allowed a case against misinformation to go forward that resulted in prison time. Prison time for free speech. Where is that written in the law? The big question is, does Walz really believe what he's saying, or is this just another political maneuver to control the narrative? Social media users certainly aren't holding back, labeling him everything from an angry, unpleasant communist to a mere puppet of the Democratic ticket. Ouch. It's important to note that Walz used to be a social studies teacher. You'd think he'd know a thing or two about the Constitution, right? Yet, his critics are quick to remind us of the quality of that one class in high school taught by the football coach. Not exactly a confidence booster. All right, thank you for watching. Hit the like button and click that notification bell if you want to be kept up to date with the Orwellian communism coming from Team Harris Walz. I'll see you in the next one. Spread the word.
Ba-dum-da-ba-do-do-do-do-do.